Hello everyone. We've been given the midnight launch trailer at Gamescom, and a whole bunch of extra articles and interviews have been released. I've already had a fair few questions from all of you about what Midnight's gonna bring, and while we are gonna get more information in the deep dive presentation, there's already a fair bit to talk about. But please keep in mind, it's all announcement stuff, is what we know so far. More details will be revealed.
The light flows through me, and by its grace am I made one with all that is sacred. The light
Liadrin, it has begun. I need you with me on the wall.
The trailer takes us mid-battle as Xal'atath sets her sights on the might of the Sunwell, and the Blood Elves of Quel'thelas rally to hold off the darkness. The Harbinger has a juiced-up dark heart, a relic containing incredible amounts of power, like the Void Lord Dimensius, so the odds are definitely stacked against a Lor'themar and a Liadrin, but the gameplay trailer already showed us that more known characters are going to be part of this moment.
How much longer can you hold out? Flee and save yourselves.
Liadrin, don't.
light be with you.
You see? She understands it's hopeless.
But it's quite the opposite. Lady Liadrin used to be an incredibly powerful wielder of the light, but then Arthas and the Scourge showed up back in Warcraft 3. The atrocities they witnessed, it made her lose faith, disconnect from the light. And lore-wise, no longer being able to call upon the light, it's always done from an emotional place of being. With an exception being the red mist that was thrown upon Shefrath, which devolved the Draenei into the Broken. Beyond that, it's always been a state of mind, the belief of being excommunicated, and so you can no longer use the light, or the fear of being rejected, so you no longer dare to call upon it. Just because they turn away does not mean the light doesn't reply. But for a long while, Liadrin and the others, they no longer wielded the light. Arthas' actions meant the loss and destruction of their Sunwell, to which the now Blood Elves started to drain magic from other sources to sustain their addiction, and eventually they even started to drain the light from the Naru Mu'uru, which gave Liadrin and her other Blood Knights access to the light again, but it came at a great cost. The Naru shrieked as it was tormented. Its beautiful song turned into horrific sounds, and still the Blood Elves fed, going so far as to turn the holy radiant Naru into its darkened state, Entropius, which we had to take on and take out. Its core would be used by Prophet Velen to reignite the Sunwell, which turned the fount of arcane power to now also house the lights, potentially a little bit of void in there, a chance for the Blood Elves at a new future.
Our arrogance was unpardonable. We damned one of the most noble beings of all. We may never atone for this sin. Can it be?
Gaze now, mortals, upon the heart of Mu'uru, unblemished, bathed by the light of creation, just as it was at the dawn. In time, the light and hope held within will rebirth more than this mere fount of power. Mayhap they will rebirth the soul of a nation.
Blessed ancestors! I feel it. So much love. So much grace. There are no words. Impossible to describe.
Salvation, young one. It waits for us all.
The light guides my steps and illuminates my path. The light flows through me, and by its grace am I made one with all that is sacred. The light guides my steps and illuminates my path. The light flows through... I know that I am unworthy. I don't know if I deserve your help, but I know my people do. Please give them strength.
I admire your spirit. but that will not save you. Soon, I will break your world.
You can't even break one elf.
This darkness comes to devour everything. And when it is finished, there will be no more light. Without your aid, we will perish. I beg you, help us.
Asking for the blessing of the light for others. In that moment, she lets go of any and all pretense and just speaks from the heart. And the light responds, an armored hand on her shoulder. The reinforcements of the light push back the darkness for the moment. Xal'atath is not defeated, obviously, but the elves will see the dawn yet. I personally really like the cinematic, because for me it hit a lot of boxes that I was hoping for. Some snappy one-liners, a bit of combat, big fan of the use of Liadrin, the light and her history, a nice teaser for what reinforcements are showing up here. Whose hand is that? Is it connected to the Arathi Empire perhaps? What could that mean for the future and the old connection between elves and humans, and why is Xal'atath smirking? But that's all to be decided, all to be revealed. Obviously, that does not mean it's perfect, but I definitely had fun with it. One thing, after reviewing it for a couple of times, that I do wonder about is, why do we see Xal'atath playing with her food again? Is she simply enjoying the moment of being overpowered? Is she imagining herself untouchable until the light shows a miracle previously unimagined? Maybe. Again, to be decided. And of course, the big question is, what is it that Xal'atath even wants to do here to begin with? Why has Xal'atath set her sights on the Sunwell? One of the earlier speculations that we talked about was the potential of Illyria falling to the dark side and now purposely unleashing the void at the Sunwell, instead of accidentally as she's done before. Unleash all kinds of darkness and plunge the world into voids. But Illyria has not fallen to the darkness yet. Now Xal'atath could have a similar goal in mind. Yet we already see her unleash quite a bit of void with the Voidstorm. She already has the power to bring in the voids. Would the Sunwell simply make it easier? Alternatively, we could compare it to the past, where the Well of Eternity was used to bring in Sargeras. But before Sargeras, there were the demons, pit lords, lieutenants. Less powerful beings were able to come in earlier and pave the way for the Mad Titan. His cosmic epic powers required a suitable powerful gateway. That's also why his avatar was so simple to be summoned in. It only contained a small portion of the whole being. Bigger bad means bigger power source needed and a bigger portal. So, is that what Xal'atath wants to do? Does she want to bring in a bigger bad? How does that fit in with betraying Dimensius? Because you'd imagine, if she wants to bring in something bigger, we're talking about the full-blown Void Lords. Yet, she betrayed a Void Lord. Did Dimensius go rogue and she took care of him? Did she go rogue but still allied to the remaining Void? And what about her whole bit of going for the world soul of Azeroth? Is this simply a cosmic battle to claim the soul of this world? Similar to how Death has come for the soul and Order has come for the soul. Now there's Xal'atath and the Void that comes for the soul.
The world's soul, so long denied me, shall be mine.
A lot of questions about Xal'atath and her motivations, which deserve explaining, and we'll be going further into that at the start of Midnight. In Midnight, players will embark on an epic journey through the second chapter of the World Soul Saga, as the Void threatens our world. Xal'atath the Harbinger poses our greatest threat, as he grasps for more power and unleashes chaos in our wake with the invasion of Azeroth. Arriving over the glittering elven kingdom of Quel'thelas, the looming Voidstorm threatens to extinguish all light, and cover the world in darkness. Players will level up to 90 and explore 4 new and reimagined zones to uncover the heart of Xal'atath's machinations while seeking out new allies amongst the light and shadows alike. So this cutscene is at the beginning. Xal'atath at the start of midnight sets her sights on the Sunwell. We push back the darkness, and then we go further into questing. 10 new levels, 4 new zones. Find out what Xal'atath is all about. Allies amongst the light and shadow. Every player is going to kick off the story campaign in Eversong Woods, shortly after the events of the opening cinematic. But then we'll get a choice whether we want to tackle Harandar or Zul Aman next. Whatever zone we don't pick can then be played through after that, and then we all end up in the same zone as our last questing zone, which is the mysterious Voidstorm for the story's finale. Eversong Woods, formerly known as the Ghostlands. Explore the reimagined Eversong Woods, a radiant forest of lyrical enchantment in the kingdom of Quel'thelas. A kingdom set up by the former Night Elves, exiled way back when they refused to give up their magical arts. Lor'themar Sunstrider used waters from the original Well of Eternity to create their Sunwell, and its magical properties allowed them to build the high home of the High Elves, terraform the lands, unite with the humans of Arator in the so-called Troll Wars, as the Trolls were not happy with these newcomers into the lands, magically protect their kingdom, which would hold the line against threats like dragons ridden by the orcs, but betrayal from within, so their city fall to Arthas and the Scourge. This majestic and awe-inspiring region combines autumnal and spring-like elements, offering a unique blend of vibrant colors and serene beauty. As you journey through Eversong Woods, you'll encounter the newly rebuilt Silvermoon City, a testament to the resilience and grandeur of the Blood Elves. A GameSpot interview clarifies that in Midnight, Eversong Woods, Zul Aman and Silvermoon City will finally be part of the Eastern Kingdoms proper. There's not going to be a loading screen required, and we will be able to fly, walk or ride directly to the new zones from anywhere in the Eastern Kingdoms. Silvermoon City is larger, with new additions like the Sanctum of Light and a memorial garden, but it will still include all the iconic parts of the city that players know and love. Seeing how this story is going to be available to both factions, Silvermoon is going to follow the example of like a Gilneas or Belameth, and it opened its doors to both factions, but not entirely. It is still very much a horde city. While it will serve as the hub city for both factions, Alliance players will only be able to access certain parts of the city, with the rest of Silvermoon still being off limits. Most of the scars of the Scourge invasion have been healed. Time has passed. Blood Elves like their gardens tidy and their magical trees beautiful, so a lot of these scars have faded. When questing in the zone, we will face challenges from the forces of the Void, including cultists. There's gonna be magical overgrowth, known as the Light Bloom, and there's gonna be the return of the Amani Trolls.
This was our land.
In this zone, we'll have 3 delves to play through. And as a side note, Bran Bronzebeard is taking a break from being our dungeon delving companion. In his place, there's gotta be Valera Sanguinar. I've already been asked how she could possibly heal or tank for us, but she can't be much of a worse healer than Bran was with his random potion throwing, and for tanking, they could take notes from Season of Discovery and have her be a rogue tank. Now we'll get more details with the deep dive on how this is all gonna play out, but right now, what we know on the delves is that it's gonna be Parhelion Plaza, which is a location currently found inside the Sunwell Plateau. And there's Collegiate Calamity, as well as the Shadow Enclave. Then the dungeons for this zone are mentioned on Wowhead to be 2, but I found 3. I'm not sure what's up with that, but I've got Magistus Terrace, which is reworked and redone. This time putting us on a desperate mission to unleash ancient, untamed magic, turning our power against the void. There's also a Windrunner Spire, which you can find in the world right now, but they've reworked it, aiming to capture the haunting essence of the Ghostlands as we uncover the long-buried history of the Windrunner sisters. Will Verisa Windrunner finally get a story? Will Sylvanas make a return to stand with us against the Void? And of course, Illyria's promise of tracking down Xal'atath. And then Murder Row, a walkway in Silvermoon City turned into dungeon. We'll venture into the underbelly of Silvermoon City, where a hidden network of Blood Elves, clutching forbidden fell relics, or harboring the very demons they smuggled back during the Burning Crusade. Wonder how that's gonna line up with, like, having warlocks amongst our ranks. Then our next zone to go into is your choice. Let's go into Zul Aman, which has been taken and expanded upon.
Troll land.
We've gone in here a couple of times already to deal with said trolls, with the Amani, who interestingly enough, once upon a time, had to deal with Xal'atath's machinations. In this time, she was still trapped in the blade, but that did not stop her from whispering and manipulating, convincing Xando to perform some blood rituals with the promise of great power. Instead, all Xando got was a swift death, as his rituals brought back Kefrax, once struck down by Keeper Tyr. Kifix would then go on to wield Xal'atath himself, cause death and mayhem until the unification of trolls under the leadership of the Zandalari. They managed to bring him down, and upon his corpse, they decided to build a temple city that would grow into what we know as Zul Aman. Time has not been kind to the trolls though. Where once they pretty much ruled Azeroth, those pesky elves and their magics kicked their asses time and time again. Their Loa brought them great power, but not enough to stop these so-called heroes from defeating them time and time again. And now, Zul Aman is gonna play a much bigger part. Trolls are back into the storyline. Explore the Amani troll capital of Zul Aman, a temperate rainforest, fiercely protected from outsiders by the forest tribes who call it home. Savage wildlife, airy mountain peaks, and mist-shrouded ruins adorn these ancient, rain-beaten lands. At its center is Zul Aman, the setting of the original raid against Warlord Zul'jin, fully rebuilt and modernized from the ground up. Journeying into Zul Aman will reveal the grandeur of its locales, as well as the culture of the Amani trolls and their sibling forest tribes. Players will be thrust into the heart of the conflict between trolls and elves, in treats with Zul'jara, the new leader of the Amani, and Zul'jin, who are the grandchildren of Zul'jin. Uncover a decades-old mystery involving the disappearance of their once revered Loa gods, Loa like the eagle, lynx, dragonhawk, and bear. It also looks like the Void is making his presence known within the city, potentially connected to that Kefrax storyline. No delves in this zone, but there are gonna be 2 dungeons. There's the Den of Narulak, that is accepting Narulak, the Loa of War's challenge. Dream trials, inspired by the turning of seasons, to earn his favor and secure his strength in the fight against the Void. Then in Myzara Caverns, the Widabar trolls of Zul Aman have been abducted by the Vile Branch trolls, whose necromancers are amassing spirits into a troll monstrosity. Gotta go in to save them and stop the Vile Branch twisted rituals once and for all. A small correction here. The article I was reading mentioned no delves in this zone, but then an official WoW post has more names on it not listed in the article. There would be the Dark Way, Twilight Crypts, and Zul Aman. Then our second option for leveling, that is in Harandar. This bioluminescent primordial jungle sits at the confluence of the World Tree's great roots. As we journey through Harandar, we'll encounter the enigmatic Haranir, prove ourselves to gain their trust and unlock them as a new allied race. The zone is filled with challenges and mysteries as we work to uncover the secrets of the Haranir and their connection to their mysterious goddess.
Goddess, where must I go?
Orwena and the Haranir saved us during the War Within, a race that normally sticks to the shadows, but Xal'atath and the Nerubians going for all the black blood, the blood of the old gods, it had them worried about the roots and the fate of Azeroth, pushing Orwena to break protocol and make contacts. There was the expectation of them becoming playable during the War Within itself, but I imagine that the story got a bit more spread out, and this chapter has been moved to midnight. Hopefully, we'll learn more about where the Haranir come from, what they're all about, their connection to Azeroth and potentially Elune, because we don't know a whole lot yet. There's the possibility of being connected to this ancient legend of Elune Ahir. Way back when, the Titan Eonar planted a tree, the branch of Gahanir, the Mother World Tree, a gift from her beloved Elune on the planet, because she thought it would help out with bringing life to the planet, but Amantul saw this, and he was not down with it. This was chaos in his mind, so he ripped out the World Tree, and this brought Eonar to tears, until she noticed the roots left behind. Still holding firm beneath the soil, hidden from Amantul's gaze. Below ground, the roots fed upon the tears of Eonar and grew strong. It is said that much later, mysterious guardians arrived who dedicated their lives to protecting the roots. Most likely, these are the Harandar, with more potentials to the domain of life and the goddess Elune. There's also a portal when you fly down into Ashkahet that puts us to sleep as we try to approach. More to be revealed, and sadly there's not going to be a paladin Harandar, but they will have unique druid forms, and this could be a great time to bring in the Botani that managed to hitch a ride with us when we brought over the Magar orcs. But time is gonna tell. This area will have one delve, the Den of Echoes, where we'll explore living murals and ancient myths. It also drops a dungeon, the Blinding Veil. The radiant energy of the Dawnwell has spurred the unchecked growth of powerful, unnatural creatures, so I have to face off against Harandar's most dangerous foes, and cut our way through the rapid growth before it reaches Silvermoon City. I've been asked what the Dawnwell is, and I have no idea. But Dawn and Sunwell are too close in name to be a coincidence, right? Could the Sunwell have been leaking into the ground, causing flora and fauna to rise up? Who is to say? Again, a minor correction here. Den of Echoes is not mentioned on the official list from Blizzard. Instead, we have the Gulf of Memory and another one called the Grudge Pit. And then the last zone is the Voidstorm, Xal'atath's base of operations.
When next we meet, I will take everything you love.
Part of Midnight Story revolves around us trying to figure out how to access her base of operations, a zone so chaotic and violent that it is drenched in the void. This mysterious world is filled with deep gorges and towering nexus points, devouring the void energy of the land. As we journey through the Voidstorm, we'll fight our way through the Void Scar Arena and Nexus Point Zenith dungeons. Alongside the Void Elves, we'll work to uncover secrets of the Void and thwart the machinations of Xal'atath, whatever those might be. And this zone has one of our starting raids, 2 dungeons and 3 delves. For the delves, we got Shadowguard Point, where we face corrupted Vidios, Sunkiller Sanctum, to explore Dominar structures, and Torment's Rise, which will have our delve nemesis, the big boss of the delve season, to provide a challenge, like we currently have Kavessa. Then the dungeons that are Voidscar Arena, where a powerful void entity, a Dominar, has gathered creatures from across the cosmos and is prisoning them for show. Almost like a circus. We'll have to fight these creatures for its amusements and their survival. A great place, in my mind, to bring back Millhouse Manastorm. And the second dungeon is Nexus Point Zenith, which we go into to cripple that storm and, I assume, to gain access into Xal'atath's base of operations. Said base being the Void Spire, one of the 3 raids we'll get at launch. Players face thrilling challenges against 9 bosses, split across these 3 epic raid encounters, designed to test their skills and teamwork as we unravel the deepest secrets of Xal'atath. Said Voidspire, ascend a towering structure filled with formidable foes and cosmic horrors, including a showdown with Dominus Lord Eversong and Zal'atath in this 6-boss raid. Zal'atath is there because Xal'atath ate him in Manaforge Omega, and I guess that she spat him out again as a loyal servant. Does that mean that we could see the Locus-Walker make a return as well? That'd be quite a twist of the knife for someone like Illyria. Then the Dream Rifts step into the formidable veil between primordial dreams and brutal reality in this single boss raid encounter. Join the Shuka, whatever those might be, in their hunt of an undreamt god that never should have been, and put down half-birthed abominations that lash out against existence itself. And the third one, March on Quel'thelas. The story reaches a thrilling climax as the united armies of the Elven tribes march on the iconic Sunwell Plateau, a 2-boss raid with massive spoilerinos that are not revealed quite yet. I'm personally hoping that they're going to look at story mode and that they'll do away with that week delay we got going on right now. Things already get massively spoiled on the internet as it is. I don't really see why they want to delay or lock out non-raiders for an extra week. And speaking of storytelling, I did get very excited to read that apparently the lore walking system is going to be continued. Hopefully this is going to be for years to come, because in my mind it's a great system to get people up to speed on sections of the story while playing the game, which is a crazy concept, right? Then the War Within is going to provide a summarized experience to get people up to speed. There will be the Exiles Reach intro experience, which they're going to update and improve. Dragonflight leveling is part of the starting experience, which had me wonder at first, like, why, right? Like, why not send people into the War Within? Why not the World Soul Saga? But then this is the expansion where there was the Dark Heart, and there's the re-empowering of the aspects, and the return of Keeper Tyr. All that has played a part, or will most likely play a part going forwards. I do wonder though, why they used the Pride of the Arafi storyline as background for these shorts. I really hope that doesn't mean it's gonna play a key part going forwards, because, well, in my opinion, it's not exactly a good questline, some of the worst that they've ever done, but time is going to tell. That for now though, is where we'll leave it. Onwards to the deep dive, where I'm hoping to hear a lot more about the gameplay updates and features that we're gonna go sink our teeth in. But for now, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Subscribe if you like my videos, and by all means, let me know what you think so far in the comments down below. On to next time. See ya!